Editing Julie here. It's 10:30 and I've had some coffee and I'm dropping over our clips from this morning, and I realized I've been calling it New Year's Eve all day. I apologize. Today is Sunday, January the 1st of 2023. We are on day number 1 of recording all of our meals for the entire month for World Carnivore Month. And I apologize for the confusion, but all morning before I had my coffee, I've been saying New Year's Eve. So if you hear me say New Year's Eve in this vlog, I'm actually referring to today, which is New Year's Day. So Happy New Year's, everybody. This is just a black cold brew, not a nitro cold brew, just regular cold brew from Starbucks. I actually bought this yesterday on real New Year's Eve and then never drank it yesterday. So I'm drinking this morning while I put this vlog together. So hope you enjoy. Good morning, everybody. Happy New Year's Eve. It is 8:15 in the morning and I just set my steaks. They were in the freezer until yesterday and I put them in the refrigerator overnight. I just put them out so they can come to room temperature before we cook them this afternoon. So I freeze them until the night before, generally, that I want to cook them. Take them out of the refrigerator, salt them heavily. You're seeing me salt them here. And then I leave them on the counter at room temperature until we eat, and that's hours. That's quite a few hours. I swear it makes them taste the best. This one is for me for today. This one is going to be cut in half, and it will be part of the lunches I take to work on Monday and Tuesday. I'll also be putting a slice of cheesecake with this, which is why I'm eating a whole steak today and then a half a steak the next 2 days. So that's the beginning of my meal prep for January the 1st, 2003. World Carnivore Day, World Carnivore Month, day number 1.
Hey guys, I think you just saw Jules meal prepping. I just finished a 14-mile run out walking with Julie right now and the pup. I have some electrolytes. I think the brand is Extend that I'm drinking right now because I really got depleted having gone carnivore for the last 8 days in a row. So I needed something a little bit more than just water today. No sugar in this, just electrolytes and a little bit of protein while we walk and get our sunshine. And yeah, I'll show you a little bit later what I am going to be eating today. But I think Jules showed you how many ounces of meat?
I don't even know. It was 2 big steaks for every bit of 18 each.
Yeah. So come with us again today. Another beautiful one, I think. Going to hit about 80 degrees. So Happy New Year. We'll see you in a bit. So on our walk, Julie found a manatee light up yard ornament. And we're trying to figure out what color it might be at night, because it can't be gray, right?
I've never seen gray Christmas lights.
Yeah. We'll have to come back and see this one.
All right.
We're back.
Another thing we're about to ingest. We each got we love this passion fruit
Tango, passion fruit tango iced tea.
from Starbucks. So we each got a 20 ounce. I couldn't hold both of them, but we each got a 20 ounce of these. And usually I just sip on mine pretty much the entire day. Michael will have his done pretty fast though.
I will, yeah. It's really refreshing after like a run. Wanted something that tasted more than water. I've already had 96 ounces of water today, and it's just now 10:10.
Nutrition facts, it's
yes.
zero everything.
Zero everything. There's 15 milligrams of sodium because of the citric acid that's in it. And I want to pull up the ingredients, but there are 0 calories regardless of size. And so we've got hibiscus, we have cinnamon, apple, lemongrass, and fruit juice extract, which is, I guess, what gives the flavor. That's the outside of their black tea or their plain green tea, the only ones that don't have sugar content in them.
So if you're eating a carnivore diet and you're just craving a flavor or a taste, this is a really great option.
It is.
I'm sure you could probably find ways to make it at home too, but we really like our little Starbucks run in the morning, and usually I get a coffee. I will be drinking a black coffee today, but I had some left over from yesterday, so I'm going to drink yesterday's coffee and this.
And I wanted to say one more thing, because we have noticed, and if you guys are Starbucks goers, I'm sure you have too, that with all the inflation and the changes with the supply chain, when you go to check out, at Starbucks, they're now asking you to add a tip.
Mm-hmm.
We got up there today, and I had just simply forgotten. Julie and I are supposed to scan. We forget to scan most of the times because we walk without our phones, but I had my phone with me today. When you have your credit card stored and you scan payment, it does not ask you. They don't prompt you for the tip. So I don't know if anyone finds that useful, but that was something that we just stumbled upon a second ago that had no idea that they don't, because we do usually add $1, but when you think about that, if you're going more days out of the week than not, you're adding hundreds of dollars a year on top of inflated prices for Starbucks. But yeah, really, really good refresher. Perfect for a Sunday because it's already 76 degrees outside.
Oh, it's warm.
Overcast. Air quality's not great, so we've probably done our outside activity today. I think air quality, they said, was 110 this morning. So that's really bad. It smells like seawater outside.
It looks very foggy outside, but
anyway,
we are home and I'm gonna make a little bit of a breakfast, which is probably gonna be bone broth.
I got a 16-ounce New York strip at the store.
Yep, we just went grocery shopping too.
Out of the butcher counter. It looked great. It looked great. So now I've got to figure out how to cook it so it'll taste like yesterday's steak.
Yeah.
At the Outback.
We cook perfectly better than mediocre average steaks at home, but we are, wanting to get better with making a little bit more flavor and seasoning. So every time we eat out at a restaurant, we're like, okay, we're getting steaks and we're gonna get it right. We never quite get it right. We get it good, we just don't get it right.
Yeah.
All right, see you in a bit.
Okay, I'm sure this doesn't look very appetizing, but breakfast for me this morning, I'm getting a late start today, it's almost 11 o'clock, is gonna be about a little more than half of this coffee mug full of my own homemade bone broth, and just a little fork full of this meat. This is just the meat that fell off the bone while this bone broth was cooking. That's about enough right there. Just a smidge more. And there we go. It's about half full. I'm gonna microwave this till it's hot, probably about a minute, maybe a minute and a half.
And here it is, about a half a cup of bone broth and a few spoonfuls of meat that has been heated up. It was exactly a minute and a half. And then this is my breakfast. One thing I'm trying to get away from in the new year is the OMAD thing, which I have been doing. I've been eating one meal a day pretty much, except like I've said before, when we travel, we completely loosen up our restrictions. But I've been doing the one meal a day thing since I was in my really early 20s. At the time, it was just sheer laziness and the unwillingness to cook food multiple times a day or prepare food for myself multiple times a day. So I would just eat all of my calories at one time and then fast for 24 hours. I've been doing that 15 years or more now. But I really want to get away from that because one thing you'll notice when you go carnivore is that your appetite changes, and I'm not necessarily hungry. I'm not really hungry enough to really eat as much food as I want to eat all at one time. I end up with more of my food left over that I didn't finish. And I've sort of been backing the time of day that I eat my meals. It used to be around 3 o'clock every day. Now lately it's been around noon. And a lot of times that kind of interrupts the flow of my day to have to stop because I'm hungry and fix my food at noon, whatever I'm doing. So my intention in the new year is to do breakfast more, carnivore of course. I didn't mean to wait until 11 o'clock this morning to do breakfast, but I was just sort of busy doing other things and forgot. But this will be my breakfast, and then I won't eat my meal until much later. So it's just heavily salted bone broth and a few forkfuls of meat. It's gonna be delicious.
Since we're talking about new supplements and foods that we're starting in January, although I have had a few of these before, I went back to Heart and Soil, which is, his handle is Carnivore MD, I think 2.0 now, because he's no longer carnivore, he's animal-based. But Paul Saladino, MD, came out with his own line of desiccated organs. We mentioned that yesterday in the blog. And I have taken Firestarter and beef organs before. But this one is a new one for me. So if you get on their website and you say, I'm starting something new and I want a starter pack and I am a male, these two are always the first two. Male, female, anyone, even children can take these two. You can even take caplets. I've seen them with children, teenagers, and you can open this up and sprinkle this on kids' foods. You don't have to take it in capsule form, but if you smell it, it smells like organs. These are all New Zealand, grass-fed, grass-finished, cow-only organs. That's another thing. So Fire Starter, I have had supplements in the past that do this. This is more or less, I guess you would call it a fat burner or a carnitine supplement. This is 3,000 milligrams. That's one serving. One serving, regardless of his line, are 6 capsules a day as tolerated. Females, sometimes he tells you to start out with 3 with half a dose. This is New Zealand grass-fed suet. So this is just rendered fat. And what looks like an old, what was it, vitamin E caplets that would come out in these soft gels. So that's what this is. Again, 6 capsules, 3,000 milligrams. On an empty stomach, first thing in the morning, you can feel your belly will burn.
I wouldn't recommend it on an empty stomach.
No,
I
I
have
don't
taken
either.
them in the past. It doesn't really make you feel sick on an empty stomach, but it will make your intestines feel like you've been lit on fire.
Yeah. This is just, we would just call this, hey, I want a daily vitamin 1 to 99 years old, like the
beef organs,
Centrum says, you know. This one is a combo, again, 6 caplets. This is liver, heart, kidney, pancreas, and spleen, 600 milligrams each. So 100 milligrams, I guess, is what the average would be per caplet. And again, you can take these. Julie could have opened these in her bone broth. I take them just as a whole, 3 in the morning, 3 in the evening. Do you have to do it that way? No, Julie will take all 6 if she's taking either one of these, but I just do a morning and a bedtime routine.
Interjection to say, Julie doesn't take any supplements at
No,
all.
you don't anymore.
I
You don't
have
need them.
in
I
the
get
past
it.
taken them, but I'm just way too forgetful. There's no way I can remember to take them every day, so I just sort of gave up on that. I don't feel like I personally need supplements, but I do believe that supplements are the right fit for the right person like you.
What I will say is, being in the field of female health, when I was in the hospital, what she's doing is fine. Everything as far as her hormone levels go, she seems to be optimal. So the carnivore diet was enough for her with any of the issues she had to clear those up. Even skin issues.
Most of the people I know in the carnivore community who are female aren't big on supplements. And everybody I know in the carnivore community who's passionate about supplements are all the men. And I have no idea why that is. It's just funny.
And when we first started, I don't want to ramble and make this one too long, but when we first started last January, that's what I did. Jules saw me just take, I had an entire plastic container.
He would have had all of these cabinets here would have been completely full of his supplements. It was insane.
This plastic container held all of my supplements. And I literally took this to the trash because Jules is like, January 1st, this is what we're starting. And
there was way more.
I went cold. Yeah, there was way more. Point is, I can feel a difference on this. I think the one thing I would say, because I thought I heard you when I was upstairs talking about some energy levels on a carnivore. And what I will say is, the one thing that we look for performance, some days I need these to get over over that hump. So this one though is a new one. We'll finish up. This one is whole package. I could ramble on about this. I've been rambling on to Julie about this for about a week now before they came in the mail. Again, very nice packaging. They come as a starter for male peak performance. Female would have I think it's called her package in there. This is testicle, liver, whole blood. This is whole blood, which includes red and white, and platelets, and your immune proteins. Absolutely outstanding. This one is so good because they independently test all of theirs to make sure that they're as clean, as pure as possible. This one got tagged. This one will be banned from college sports. You cannot take that because the derivatives apparently, because I've just seen the study, of testosterone that come from these desiccated testicles when they circulate through the blood are precursors for other male hormones and show a direct correlation. And that's where you get into the whole thing of that's considered to be a performance enhancing drug in the college community. But if you watch Paul on YouTube or watch him on Instagram, he's like, it's great for us. Paul, I think, turned 45 this year. I'm turning 43 at the end of the month. We all know, anybody that's done studies, after 40, you're talking about, I'm not going to be using illegal substances, but you're talking about testosterone dropping. And so this one was something I wanted to pick up and just try because it's not full of fillers. You can find them on multiple websites that tell you that it is a male enhancing whatever. It'll have, what's some of the ingredients? Yohimbe and ashwagandha is a bunch of powder in there. This is just desiccated bull testicle. That's all it is. I would rather start here than buying something fake or made from roots that we know we're not supposed to be eating in the first place. Lastly, and this one I do have Jules take.
I don't take that. I don't ever remember.
I thought she was taking this. This is a boron complex. The point about that is when you look at eating only meat and cheese, we'll leave the eggs out of the way because
that's not a regular part of our diet.
Well,
we eat it sometimes.
You need some choline supplement if you're eating them every day. We don't. We go through phases of where we love eggs and we hate eggs. But anyway, the only other supplement that Paul says you might want to take is a boron complex daily. And what boron is going to do is help the bones perform, right? We're getting the vitamin D, converting it calcium in the sunlight, in our stomach. This will help us so we don't have to eat raw dairy if we don't want to eat raw dairy. Cheese is our raw dairy, but the boron for men will also help support normal testosterone levels on top of bone health. And again, for those of you who don't know, you reach about 35, long bones are going to be more yellow marrow than red, right? And so again, that becomes something we need to supplement for performance. Jules is not working out every day like I am. So like I said, when I remind her, it's one a day. It's one little caplet a day is all the recommended. No, just one little guy. And so
remind us again how many it was. Six of these, six of these, six of these, and one.
And one.
Okay.
Start with 3. That's what they recommend. I do 3 in the morning, 3 right before bedtime. Jules knows. This one comes in the morning. And that's it for me. I'm still taking the Zyrtec though. That's unfortunate. It's about every 3 days. I used to have to take it every day. He does have an immune where it has bovine thymus, adrenal gland, and I think some immune cells from the red blood. I'm trying to get there. I still have some skin irritation after about the 4th day of not having the Zyrtec. That may be an
you
effect
coming
from
off
the
of the
medication.
Zyrtec has been something we are really striving for.
We're trying.
I think if over the course of this month we're a little more strict than even we usually are, as in we've eliminated cheat days completely.
Yeah.
We used to have about 1 cheat day a week. That was our go-to just to keep things interesting. But in the month of January, we're not planning on any cheat days unless we end up traveling for pleasure. So we're interested to see how, if we were that strict for that long with no cheat days, where would he be with the Zyrtec? We'll need to kind of circle back to that at the end of the month.
We will. Did you get my shirt?
I did. I bought this shirt for him, and I'm so glad he wore it today. I have a carnivore shirt too.
We have another one coming on the way that says seed oils are bullshit. So that one's going to be fun.
I don't think I placed that order yet. I need to.
Oh, okay. But that's it.
That's it. That's your supplements.
All my supplements.
This is your meal for the day, right?
I want to be exact. 0.995. So
0.995
very close to
what?
16 ounces a pound.
Of a pound. Oh, okay. Almost 1 whole pound.
Almost one. New York strip. Salt. I don't know if I'm going to put pepper on it or not. But we have this Chop House butter seasoning. I think we're going to mix some salt.
We've talked about this a
some
lot.
Salt, sorry. Some butter with this. We've got onion powder. There's actually dried butter in here. Rosemary. Green tea extract.
Love this stuff.
Interesting. And dried garlic. So that's going to go on here as well. I'm going to try, Julie does hers in the oven in cast iron. I'm going to try mine on the air fryer, but I'm going to have to look up a recipe so I don't screw it up.
I'm actually using tikka masala mix on mine today, so.
I'm going to aerate this a little bit.
Yeah.
Be good.
And then you're gonna leave it out at room temp until we cook, right?
Yeah, so what, at least 2 hours, right?
It's almost 1 o'clock now. We won't be eating for a few more hours,
Yeah.
so it'll be sitting out, kind of like mine are. Mine are still at room temperature and they're oxidizing.
Yours have been out for quite a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the way mine tastes better when they oxidize a bit. 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and Michael's just now having his breakfast as well, right?
Well, I did have a protein shake.
Right.
If you want me to show that, but
You have that every day, though. I think we've talked about it before.
This one is the one.
So this is more like your lunch, I guess.
It is that we were talking about yesterday.
This is the steak he just started the marination on, but we won't be eating that until like 4 or 5 o'clock-ish. So this is lunch for him, which is your cheese flat. Oh, you got the bag? Awesome. Where do you get these? Aldi's?
Aldi's and Publix both have them. Aldi's are like almost half the price.
Cheese wraps, Parmesan cheese wraps. They make a cheddar one too, right?
They do. They make a cheddar one as well. I usually buy equal numbers. Pasteurized cow's milk, salt, microbial enzymes. So.
And then you actually count the pepperonis,
I
right?
do 15. This is the uncured pepperoni
From
Hormel's
Publix?
Publix, yep.
Whose brand is it? Let me
It's
see.
Hormel.
Hormel. Okay. Uncured pepperoni, you put 15.
No artificial ingredients, no nitrates or nitrites, no preservatives. So this is all beef.
So you're making
15, yeah, sorry, 15 on here. I count them out. Julie knows I do my little ring around the outside. That'll make 10. You see, I've had these quite a bit.
And when you feel like shaking it up, you make a taco instead of pizza.
Yeah, yeah. Broil, because you just want this to melt. And then the parchment paper lets you kind of flip it without getting it stuck to whatever, we have it on a pizza stone, but whatever you use.
Really good.
to
And
cook.
it's a nice salty, crunchy taste, which sometimes can be
Yes.
hard to find on a carnivore diet, especially if you don't air fry little crunchy things.
And then I usually do put, again, shredded cheese. 1/4 of a cup, I think, is 1 serving, so that adds another 6 grams of protein. So I think we said yesterday 24 grams of total
24 grams of protein in this one
carb.
little crispy, salty, crunchy cheese pizza.
Yeah, so that's about 1/4 of a cup there.
Really nice trick when you're carnivore if you're looking.
It is. It gives you some flavor. Julie knows I've made another. That's a transition that I've made, going away from the fake protein bars that are, labeled as healthy, but still have the erythritol, sugar alcohols as carbohydrates. This one gives me more protein, less carb, and it's more filling, to be quite honest. So this just goes straight in.
And it's hot.
And it's hot. Right off the broil, and we'll watch it. I don't know, it's less than 10 minutes, and it's ready to go.
Ready to go.
Yep.
I meant to wait until 5 o'clock to eat, but I'm getting kind of hungry. This is the latest dinner we've eaten in a while. It's 3:45, so I'm gonna start cooking. I think Michael's food will take a little bit longer than mine, but here, I'll show you. I already cut my steak into bite-sized pieces. I'm really into this saffron road right now, tikka masala mix. And just stir that all up. In addition to salt, these are the spices that I use. And honestly, I just kind of flavor it to taste. So whatever, amount that you like of each of these is what I would say. Just kind of sprinkle them around and taste test it and see what you like. Personally, I use a little bit of a mountain of all three on my meat. And to top it all off, I use a huge spoonful of sour cream in place of Greek yogurt, which Greek yogurt for me is just something I don't prefer. I like sour cream better. But I put this in here to make it a little sweet and also to keep it nice and moist. I've added just a little water to kind of help mix everything together and keep it, that word I hate to say, moist while it's cooking. Turned it on low, and I'm gonna cover it and just let it simmer for a while. This lighting is so bad in here.
Horrible pot lights.
What you making?
My steak, my pound of beef.
Air fryer.
Yeah, so they said to put it on 400 degrees for 12 minutes, 6, and then turn for a medium steak. And then I'm going to finish it off. Needs to sit for 10 minutes with grass-fed butter and that Chop House seasoning mixed in
We
there.
love that Chop House.
Yes, we do.
I brought it to like a simmer on medium just to cook the meat. And I'm gonna let it simmer for just a couple minutes. I don't like my meat cooked very much, and then it'll go on low. And it'll just sit on low basically until Michael's ready to eat. It's kind of all mixed up now, but we are big cheese people. We really like the brand, I think it's called Bella Vito.
Yeah, Bella Vito.
You can get them in little wedges at most grocery stores. This one is the Merlot cheese.
Merlot.
Oh man, it's delicious. It's got like a wine Merlot tasting rind, and then the other one is Cabot.
That's 18-month aged, 18-month reserve aged cheddar.
And
So-
then this bad boy. That's a lot of butter, and that looks absolutely amazing.
Well, you don't even know. I've got butter to dip it in after
What do we got?
after the butter sits on it. We've got more butter.
Butter to melt and butter to dip.
Because
We
butter.
really love butter. Yep.
Yeah, so this one, 12 minutes, and it's going to rest for just a few more minutes, and then when Jules is finished, I think we'll be ready to
I
eat.
think Jules is finished over
Jules-
there. Yep. And this is my dinner. Absolutely full as I could get this bowl, and probably about a 16-ounce steak. I don't know exactly, but completely marinated.
My pickles look pathetic.
If Michael said his pickles look pathetic, that's melted butter, not pickle juice. And his steak. And our cheese. I have just finished eating. That was delicious, and I'm currently getting my meals ready because I work at the hospital tomorrow, which is Monday and Tuesday, 12-hour shifts, so I have to get the food ready the day before. Doesn't look all that pretty, but we got some. This is the cheesecake we made this weekend. We've been loving this, I guess you would call it a keto cheesecake recipe. The only ingredients are cream cheese, eggs, sour cream, honey, and vanilla flavoring. So this
Vanilla
morning-
extract.
Vanilla extract, excuse me. So this morning I ran the nutritional facts, and my math is a little sketch, but if my math is correct, each slice has 13 carbs in it. If I cut this in 8 equal pieces. Each slice has 13 carbs and almost 12 grams of protein. However, a lot of those carbs actually don't count because I don't count carbs that come from cream cheese or sour cream. I only count the carbs that come from the honey. So that makes this actually a lot less even than that. But if you're being completely 100% strict, I would say it has less than 13 carbs per slice. I'm going to slice this into about 8 equal pieces and then make probably drizzle a little extra honey on top just to keep it nice and moist. The word I hate. And then I'm also cooking the exact same thing I had today. I'm cooking more steak with more tikka masala and sour cream. I'm going to put them in little turn this heat down.
Lock and locks.
Little lock and locks, and then I'll have my food for the next couple days at work.
Awesome.
You won't even have to think about it. So anyway, all of that to say, I know today's vlog is kind of getting lengthy. I don't intend to put vlogs out that are this long every single day, but I am on the days that I'm home and making a new recipe. I will make the vlogs a little bit longer, but you can probably count on the videos on the days I have to work being much, much shorter than this. And it'll just be some inserts of whatever Michael eats. So
The steak was great, by the way.
I think we're pretty much done with food for the day, but there will be
Yeah.
kombucha later.
So you see, we try to end our food window, before 5 p.m. And the only thing left for us is probably a kombucha around 5:30. And then,
We're currently, I think I talked about this earlier, but we're kind of transitioning away from the OMAD.
yeah,
It stands for 1 meal a day. I told Michael I've been an OMAD since I was in my early 20s, and he's been that way at least as long as he's known me. But we are not really doing a food window per se. I guess maybe you look at the times a little stricter than I do. I just look at if I'm not working, I want to start having a light breakfast and a reasonable dinner instead of one large meal and then nothing for 24 hours. On the days I work, it probably will just be an OMAD situation because I simply just don't have time to fix food frequently throughout the day, which is why I'm trying to supplement exactly what I ate today with that extra slice of cheesecake because I am going to have to eat a really huge meal. But, there's a lot to be said for the intermittent fasting lifestyle, and we both find a lot of success with that and how we feel. But just for the fact that it's kind of becoming a little bit disruptive to have to eat early because we're hungry, we're sort of straying away from that and getting into more along the lines of a lighter meal and then a dinner, an early dinner. You know, for us, dinner is,
And I think,
before
yeah.
5 o'clock, usually. It's seldom is it as late as 5 o'clock, unless we're hanging out with friends or something.
for me, the window is more, I don't know, I think I've done that for intermittent fasting so long that it's just something I look at even though I don't pay attention to it anymore. Because I try to stop all fluids before 7 o'clock. That includes water as well. And in the morning, I try to wait at least until 10 a.m. if possible before I start the protein shake. But again, that's variable, like Jules said.
This is 2 meals here, by the way, not just one. I know it looks like a lot more.
No, it looks good though. I can already smell it coming through again.
Smells good.
Okay.
That's that.
That's that. Happy Sunday, guys. We'll see you tomorrow.
Well, all we have left to talk about is the kombucha that we're going to drink
Oh,
later.
right. I forgot. Yeah, we'll talk about that.
Kombucha,
It's
which I've
homemade,
talked
yeah.
about many times on the channel. We don't have any real idea what the actual nutrition facts are on my homemade kombucha because I've never actually measured it. I do it all by...
I might be able to come up with something.
I know in a gallon and a quarter of a gallon, whatever that is, that a gallon and a quart?
A quarter of a gallon? What do you mean?
A gallon plus a quarter of a gallon. What would that be? 1 gallon plus 1 quart? There is
Yes, you're saying 1 1/4 gallons?
1 1/4 gallons.
Okay,
has
yeah, that's a quart.
1/4 cup of sugar in it. That's all I know to tell you about our homemade kombucha. Everything else I just kind of pour by eyeballing it, so I can't really give accurate nutrition.
The last time we calculated it, it was a few grams less than what the GTs and the Kavita was in the stores.
Although they reformulated, they're not using sugar anymore.
Yeah, GTs is only using fruit as their sweetener.
You gotta buy kombucha in the store. We used to avoid the Kavita Master Brews because they had cane sugar in them. But that we flipped a bottle around the other day, and I was so surprised to see the carb count it used to be 16 carbs in the bottle, I think it was. Now it's 9.
It's 9. They're using stevia leaf now.
Yeah, stevia leaf. So I'm back on board with Kavita. I really love all the Master Brew flavors. They're delicious. And if you go somewhere like a Meijer or what's the other one? There was an Earth Fair back in North Carolina. Some of your
Fresh Market.
Yeah, they have extra flavors that you won't find in your Target and your Wendy's.
Yeah, we went to Target the other day and had
some really good flavors. So
2 flavors, but yeah.
Synergy GTs are good, and we like the Kavita Master.
We just always search a flavor out that does not have ginger. We do not put ginger.
Yeah.
Ginger is medicinal, so we don't put that in any of the stuff that we drink, and we do not seek it out either. Same with turmeric.
The girl who ate 4 bites of a sweet potato yesterday. We do try to avoid roots or things that are growing in the ground. Other than
Right, well, we know.
a couple of scattered seasonings, but
that would be
we
used,
don't
if we
wanna
were
do
sick.
the kombucha that has ginger in it if we can help it, but
Yeah.
that's why we make our own at home. But I'm just saying, there's really good kombucha options out there on the market, and it seems like they're widening up to the sugar even more than they used to be. So
Yeah, I know that GTs is the only one, I think, when we had that fad, I don't want to say fad because people might be watching that they're still doing it, but that phase of Whole30, GTs was the only brand that was Whole30 approved because of using the fruit juices instead of an artificial sweetener.
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
So there you go. I'm just
Awesome.
going to stand here and continue to make a mess and stir this so it doesn't burn. We'll have our kombucha later. There might be a short little clip.
Okay.
For the most part, we are done for the day.
Awesome.
For this vlog. So happy Carnivore Month, World Carnivore Month. Happy day number 1 on World Carnivore. I hope you guys are enjoying and having great success with your carnivore lifestyle.
Be back soon.
Bye.